The PRAXIS series is important because it gives us an opportunity to bring together senior policymakers, academics and other specialists to really examine the ways in which we can do learning and economic development more powerfully and better in Scotland. The fact that local partnerships are no longer really coordinating the delivery of education and skills in England is a bit of a worry, and I think that for Scotland we need to ensure that that localism and that collaborative working is maintained.
The key benefit of sessions like this are that they provide a really open environment in which to have a knowledgeable and constructive conversation about quite tricky issues. So how do you design a good education and skills system? How is it responsive to wider environmental change? How do different actors in that system come to the views that they have? So when you're in a room with lots of people who are knowledgeable but who represent different parts of the education and skills system, it gives you an opportunity to have that open, honest conversation around resolving what are quite challenging and pretty intractable issues.
Well, for me the highlight of Professor Keep's presentation was such a clear exposition of the divergent policy on higher and further education in England compared with that in Scotland. I was really struck by the force with which he set out the impact, I suppose, of a market system in England compared to a more planned arrangement that we have in Scotland.
In England, we've gone for a relatively heavily marketised education and training system. We've gradually moved away from a system. We've created a set of quasi-markets. My research indicates that that comes with costs. It certainly comes with costs relative to the kind of system that Scotland maintains. Some of the costs include the fact that if you have a market, the incentives in that market are often to dump the weakest students. That's quite a destructive set of incentives.
Rather than having competition in the higher education and the further education sector, what we should all do is to focus on what we are particularly strong at. So for example, in the development of things like graduate apprenticeship programmes, those should be carried out by higher education institutions in circumstances where they bring real value to that. And I think that was something that was quite interesting for me to think about in the context of the development of graduate apprenticeship programmes in Scotland and the rest of the UK.
He was engaging, fluent, and he had a great sense of humour with which he was delivering his presentation. But beyond the content of the presentation, I really enjoyed meeting a number of people I've not seen for a while. I was here at the previous Praxis event and the same thing happened, so the networking opportunities in this sort of session are fabulous.
The message for Scotland is to carry on doing what you're doing and try and improve and strengthen the involvement of stakeholders like employers in that system of provision.
Employers have a really key role to play in shaping the workforce of the future and therefore the skills that that workforce will need. I think that an increasing level of engagement with employers is critical.